All right, guys, when it comes to this next round of stimulus negotiations and what's going on in politics today, we are going to discuss what is going on when it comes to the Great Resignation. Over 4 million individuals have walked away from either jobs or careers over the last few months. We're going to talk about that as well as what the future of work is going to be like, not only for those that are young, but also for seniors and those that are on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, retired railroad, representative payee, VAs, as well as those that are survivors. What is work going to look like for you all? How does this benefit you all when it comes to working? We're going to talk about that in details here. Let's get started. Even though we're waiting for the infrastructure bills to go through, even though we're waiting for the next round of stimulus payments to be approved, we do have individuals right now when it comes to the job market opening back up, and there's over 9 million job openings right now. Many individuals have decided not to go back into the field in which they were in before it began. And this is called
the Great Resignation.
The Great Resignation.
The Great Resignation. 40% of workers are seriously considering quitting their current jobs, while on the other hand, employers such as Apple is getting pushback from its employees for implementing a hybrid model. Goldman Sachs and Morgan Stanley are creating mandates to have workers back in the office ASAP, and restaurants and retail shops are finding it difficult to fill in their job openings.
The I quit trend certainly did not happen overnight. Even prior, the vast majority of the workforce has already been living in silent agony working at their jobs. But as we may realize by now, the crisis mode brought forward has only just brought truth to the surface, and the truth of high employee disengagement is no exception. These resignations are happening across the board, including from service workers, blue-collar workers, and white-collar professionals. Now, at first glance, many recite the unwillingness to return to the office as the culprit. But when you take a closer look, you realize that these same people were probably about to quit their jobs anyway. The anticipation of going back to the office is just a trigger, a tipping point that motivated people to finally submit their resignation, which points to a much bigger issue known as the employee experience. This is the set of 7 things that an individual will face or witness during their time with a company. This includes 1, their degree of engagement in their work, 2, whether or not they see purpose in their work, 3, whether or not they have a sense of belonging, 4, whether or not they are optimistic about their future with the company, 5, whether or not they feel productive, 6, do they see meaning in the company's mission, vision, and values, and 7, do they form meaningful connections with their boss and their colleagues? And myself, being someone who recently left a corporate job, I can confirm, for me at least, it was the overall employee experience as a function of all the aforementioned 7 things that ultimately led to the decision for my own resignation. And I wouldn't be surprised if this is also true for many others. Which leads to the next question. Why do 85% of the workforce have such a bad employee experience?
Now, while there are millions of opportunities, as I mentioned, 9 million jobs being open, corporations and businesses are wondering, why aren't people coming back to the job opportunities in which they either had prior to or some of the new opportunities that are available? Because a lot of people right now are taking advantage of online work. Many of us worked from home during 2020 and became comfortable with it because you're able to take care of your family. At the same time, you're able to make money to be able to put away for the future as well as take care of yourself currently. I'll give you my story, for example. At one point in time, I was just like everybody else. I had my corporate job. I was getting promotions. I was making on average about $70,000 a year. But I really wasn't happy. And a lot of people were just like me, just not happy working for someone in the corporate structure. You get tired of driving through the traffic each day. You got tired of working for a company that didn't appreciate your hard work, even though you were making good money, because I was. However, changes needed to be made. So that's what I decided to do when I decided to go online and start working online. Not only for myself, but I started off working online jobs, gig work, as well as going off into online entrepreneurship. That's what a lot of people are doing right now when it comes to opportunities. Now, how does this help you out when you're a senior and you're on Social Security? Many seniors, as well as individuals that are on disability and are survivors and are retirees, already know that you can work. You just can't work and make the amount of money that you have made before. That is perfect for a person that has your skill sets. For example, many young people as well as older people have online job skills that many companies are looking for right now. So instead of going to work at the local McDonald's or Walmart and being there at the front door, as you may be a person that I can't get out the house, and so you want to work online. There's opportunities for you.
Across all industries and trades, upended the working world.
The coronavirus that has much of the U.S. and the world on lockdown.
Governor Andrew Cuomo extending the state's work from home order.
Well, it may be a while yet before many of us are allowed to return to our places of work.
Cubicles and conference rooms switched to Zoom chats virtually overnight. But as more people take their vaccines and the COVID cases continue to plummet, the future of work could soon be at a crossroads. While many essential workers who tirelessly put in hours on the job throughout will have little change in lifestyle, many corporations are beginning to revisit what a working world post looks like. According to LinkedIn, nearly 25% of all applications on the site in late April and May of 2021 were for remote jobs, a 7% increase from last year. Companies like Twitter announcing that they'll continue to allow employees to work from home permanently, while other companies like Citigroup, Microsoft, and Google have announced a hybrid model, a mix of work from home and the office for their employees.
I think that it's quite possible that over the next 5 to 10 years, about 50% of our people could be working remotely.
To discuss the future of work, I sat down with Karen Kimbrough, the chief economist at LinkedIn. So, Karen, give us a sense of what you feel like the new normal in the workplace is going to be.
I think going forward, employers are looking at ways to bring their employees back into the office. Many companies are, hoping to be back in the office at some point in the fall. And I think what it means ultimately is that there will be more flexibility in the workplace than there was pre, but probably not as much as the full remote story that we're all experiencing still right now. We find that our members want to go back. They want to see their colleagues. They want to collaborate.
So what does it mean for the people who left the cities and went to the suburbs and even left the state feeling like, hey, I can do my job just as effectively across the country?
So it largely depends by industry. And for people, I'd say for people who migrated, and by the way, we did see a lot of migration to the suburbs, as you say, Lindsay, but also from big cities to smaller cities. I think some of that may be there to stay. People chose to look for a place where maybe it was more affordable, they had more space, or in some cases, millennials who are now at that age where they're settling down and having children are looking for just that more suburban experience.
I was 50 years old when I decided to retire from corporate America, and I'm so glad that I made that decision. Even though I was making quite a bit of money, I decided to go after my goals of working online. It allowed me to be able to travel anywhere I want and do some of the things that I wouldn't have done if I had to work for somebody in one geographical location. And millions of people are starting to realize this. That's why there are over 9 million job openings right now, because a lot of people are taking advantage of online work. Now, there are 3 major type of online job opportunities. The first type is gig work. And what is that? Online work where you just work on a particular project. You have websites such as Upwork, websites such as Fiverr.com, and other websites where people will hire you to work on a particular project. I'll give you a perfect example. I paid a person just to build our Facebook page for mostly money. That person made $250 in less than 1 day just by doing that. And many of you people already know how to set up a Facebook page, but because it saved me time and energy, I was able to pay that person for that particular job. There are opportunities that are out there for many of you, young as well as retirees, to where you can take advantage of it. I know an individual that has a YouTube channel, Blind to Billionaire, and he is literally blind, but he has a YouTube channel, and he and his wife are bringing in the revenue that's able to change their lives. Also, for example, companies. You've got companies such as Google Force. Their workforce has over 120,000 people that work for Google work from home. The individuals that work in office for Google is only 103,000 individuals that actually work in the offices around the world for Google. But most of their workers, they work at home online. So there are opportunities for you to take advantage of. The second group of job opportunities for you to take advantage of is entrepreneurship. A lot of individuals that have taken advantage of having or purchasing online businesses that are available right there. So even if you want to start selling books online, if you want to be an Amazon affiliate, if you want to go ahead and start a YouTube channel or make money on Facebook by doing recipes, because I'm always looking for a good recipe. But if you're doing recipes, but at the end of the day, there are opportunities for seniors as well as young people online. I know one lady, she's a senior, she's in her 70s, and she makes a lot of money as a fashion vlogger doing YouTube videos for older people that want to still keep their style. And there are a lot of individuals that, from Shopify to other online platforms, that make a lot of money by being online entrepreneurs. And the last but most common way that individuals are making money online during this time of recession and beyond, that are able to still put off into Social Security, still able to put off into our investments, is online jobs. There are companies that are not hiring staff in-house anymore. They're actually just hiring individuals to work online. The cool thing about online, it's ageless. So if you still have the abilities and skills, you can apply for a job online. There are management positions and entry-level positions that are available for many companies online. If you are looking for opportunities to get started with online, you know me, I've got a list of over 300 companies that are hiring around the world, but most of them are that are hiring right now for individuals to work online. So if you're looking for online position, and I have it broken down by even how much each one pays.